Hello and welcome to the Management 672 Human Resource Management Midterm Requirements Review. In the interest of getting this up and available to you as early as possible, we'll skip the smiling professor's face along with this, and we'll just move on to what is really the most important part, which is what you've got to do for your midterm. For those of you who have actually started working on the midterm, you'll want to take a look at the new requirements. We're still using Southwest Airlines and Lincoln Electric as our case studies. However, after reviewing what was in the course, I've decided that I think it would be much easier for all of us if we did a few revisions. So let's see what we're doing here. If you go to the website, the Kaiser University Blackboard website now, and go to week 5 and look at the midterm, we have a description of what's going to be required and what you're going to be using to write your report. So this is now what it should look like if you go to the website now. To break that down so we can actually read it, we're using two case studies that come out of your textbook. The Lincoln Electric Company case study, which is on page 559, and the Southwest Airlines case study, which is on page 574. These are at the very end of your textbook. They're not part of any chapter. They're what we call integrated case studies, and they're meant to kind of cover all the topics that the textbook covers and the course covers. So they're at the end of the book. And next to those, you see the company website to access the company's website. We will be using both the case study and the website for this exam. What you're supposed to be doing is, of course, read the case studies thoroughly, and what we're looking at is the HR practices employed by each of these companies. I also want you to use the links that are supplied to the company websites to investigate specific jobs and careers that these companies offer. When we've done that, then we're going to be looking at 3 different areas of HR. Recruiting and selection. How do you find employees? How do you get them to apply? And then how do you select the best applicants? Performance management, which we talked about last week a little bit in terms of incentive compensations. And then training and development, which we also talked about a little bit earlier. So when you use the link to Lincoln Electric, you'll get to the home page. And then if you go from the home page over to the tab where it says Company, you'll get a drop-down menu, and the 4th one on the list is Careers. You want to click on the Careers, and this will bring you to the Careers page. And here you have different types of careers that Lincoln Electric offers. You have specific information about different types of people they're looking for. Over on the right-hand side of the page, they explain why somebody would want to work for Lincoln Electric, the background of the company, promotions from within, and again, each of these are clickable links that takes you to more information. What I want you to do with this and also Southwest is to explore these websites in terms of how they look for people and how they try to retain people, what they offer. Okay, I expect that to be in your case studies as well as information, or in your report, as well as information from the case studies. Okay, so that's how to get to the career information for Lincoln. When you click on the Southwest Airlines home page, this is what you'll get. This is just showing actually the bottom of the page. But if you scroll all the way down, you'll get to a section where you can see again about Southwest and then a selection called Careers. If you click on the Careers word, you'll be taken to the Southwest Airlines career page. It's going to look like this. There's more information down at the bottom, but the basic, what I'm trying to show you here is how to find it, how to get to it. Once you're here, you can explore as much as you want, as much information is available. And the reason that I want you to do this is because in addition to reading the case, which supplies a lot of background and information, this actually is how these two companies are dealing with at least a few aspects of HR management today, right now. If you were in a position where you wanted to work for Southwest Airlines, you could fill out an application and kind of go through their selection process. If you were interested in working for Lincoln Electric in various capacities, you could fill out an application, see what kind of jobs they're looking for, fill out an application, and so you would be coming into their HR policies and procedures from the position of a prospective employee. Okay, and I think this is very valuable, when we're doing our case analysis to compare the two and see, well, how are they similar, how are they different, which one do you think is more effective? Okay, and that's what the basis of the examination is. So I think using the real websites in addition to the case studies themselves gives you a lot more realistic feel for what these companies are like. So that is the resources that you need to use. Of course, you're not discouraged from using external articles, other sources of information. The requirements. For each of the three categories that we talked about above, okay, first one was recruitment and selection. Second one was performance management. Third one was training and development. For those three categories, you're supposed to write a mini paper. So each paper, each topic is going to have its own little paper. It's going to be 3 pages or more, and you're going to compare Lincoln versus Southwest, contrast, which means look for differences, look for similarities, and then evaluate which one you think might be more effective. Assert your opinions, meaning here you're able to say, I think Southwest would be a better company to work for, and here's why I think so. Offer ideas, make recommendations. You are expected to apply the concepts coming out of the course, so you better have your textbook handy and be able to look up those particular topics in the textbook. We expect you to be using terminology from the textbook, okay, and of course do your referencing to the specific pages that you're using. And also, you must use the company websites as part of your background information. I expect those websites to be cited in your reference list also. So what is going to be the result of your work? You're going to end up with 3 separate papers, one on recruitment and selection, Lincoln versus Southwest, another paper, performance management, Lincoln versus Southwest in that area, and a third one, training and development, Lincoln versus Southwest. All right, you've written your 3 mini papers. You're all finished and ready to go. What do you do next? Well, you add a KU title page. You know how to do that because you used that on your case study in week 2. Now you want to bundle all the papers together, all in one file. Now you may be doing this already, it may be all together, but if you're not and you're writing separate files, those are not going to work when you try to run it to safe assign. So they all have to be combined together into one file. Call it the midterm exam file, if you will. You don't have to have an overall introduction or conclusion for the entire report. Okay, but each of the mini papers should have an introduction about what the topic is and how those companies handle that particular aspect of HR, and a conclusion for each of the mini papers. So when I'm reading it and I go through one of these sections of your paper, I'll have an introduction and a conclusion. Then, when you're all finished, you submit the midterm exam file. This is all 3 mini papers combined to the Safe Assign draft. Now, you all know about this because you watched my little show about how to use Safe Assign now. Then you're going to wait a few minutes, or maybe half an hour, come back and see what Safe Assign said about your paper. You're going to review the results, notice your percentage, and look at your report. And remember that we're looking for no more than 20% if possible. Make your necessary revisions. Turn it back in. This time the midterm exam file revised is going to go into the Safe Assign final. And at that point you're done. And you just have to sit back and wait for the results. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.